Hi everyone, it's Forrest here, back with another Lunchtime with Live Animals. And today we're bringing you walking sticks back from inside the insectary. These are a group of animals in our collection that are really a behind the scenes special show and tell. So let's get into it. Walking sticks and walking leaves are super amazing, right? They are herbivores. That means that they eat plants, and that's really their whole thing. So they live, breathe, eat, breed, everything on plants. They don't build shelters, they don't burrow underground, they don't go into bark, they don't build webs. They are insects that live and thrive on plants and trees. And so their whole survival strategy, all of their adaptations are built for not going anywhere, for staying and living on plants, on blending in as much as possible. And we have in our live collection three or four, usually four different species of walking sticks and walking leaves. And today I'm going to show you three of those. So let's get into it. Now, can you see this one? This one's here on my camouflaged shirt, blending in, right? They invented camouflage. They're masters of camouflage. And so, right, they're insects. That means that they have 6 legs, obviously an exoskeleton, antenna. And so when you're out in the world and you're trying to put on your nature eyes and actually spot some walking sticks in the wild, it can be incredibly hard, right? You're looking for 6 legs, but they usually don't show you all 6 because they try to blend in as much as possible with the environment. So let's just do a quick I Spy practice until we do a real I Spy on some of the things that I have set up. Try to put on our nature eyes. So here on the left, we have, let's see if I can get a pointer going here. Pointer. Here on the left, right, we actually have 2 walking sticks, right? This is a real stick, and this is a real stick, and this is a real stick. But here I can see 1, 2, and another 1, 2 on this side in a central line and some antenna here. This isn't actually an insect. This is a walking stick right here. And then on top of it is another one. And so there's 2 walking sticks right there. So that's what you're looking for. You're going to try to identify a body, try to identify some antenna if you can. But the blending in is usually so spot on. It can be really, really hard. And then over here, right, that's a real stick, that's a real stick, that's a real stick. And if I come over here, I think I see what look like 2 legs on either side coming out right here. I see another leg right there, and I see another leg right there, and these are antennas. So this is a big walking stick hanging upside down right here, right? So these are what you think when you hear walking stick, these are the ones that really show you walking stick-like type of morphology there. But there are others in that group that are more like leaves. Some are more like big green things with thorns. So let's look at the few of the variations. Let's see if I can change my slide here. Right, these things here are called jungle nymphs. And the first one that we looked at, that was a jungle nymph. These are from West Malaysia, a tropical species. And they have some sexual dimorphism going on, meaning that the males and females are different from each other. Females are much larger and greener, and the males are usually browner and smaller. Some other differences is that the males grow full-length wings, that the females only have these little tiny wing buds. And we'll look more at that in a moment. But these things are not as stick-like. They're more covered with gnarly spines like you would find on a vine. Gnarly spines all over their legs, all over the sides up and down their abdomen, their thorax, their head, just completely covered in spines. And they will go into a defensive pose when disturbed. And so here's another male covered, see all these spines just completely covered in spines. And that's a pretty effective defense, right? Something biting down on you and getting a mouthful of spines is pretty defensive. And the reason why they are covered in spines is because, right, they're so cryptic, they're so camouflaged, they're so blended in that they do get chewed on by each other and by other herbivores. And so they have developed this defensive strategy just like a plant does, because a plant doesn't want to get eaten by an herbivore either. And so, right, very much like a plant in its defense mechanism as well. And then in addition to that, just to enhance the spininess, they will go into a handstand, and where the gnarliest of the spines are, all along their legs are huge spines. They'll go into a handstand and flip their legs open in order to try to show off the largest of the spines and catch things in those spines. And so they'll rotate their body in a handstand to try to catch things in the spines as a defense. And they can also make a hissing sound like a cat does or like a snake does. And so they'll suck in a whole bunch of air and push it out through their body to create hissing sounds as well. You may have seen some of the walking sticks from California, which we don't have in our collection. Their defense mechanism is to emit like a mace, kind of like a pepper spray. And so they have in their body the ability to produce a mace and shoot it out through their abdomen like an aerosol. And so it will affect another animal's eyes and mouth and nose and skin. And it's really irritating. So you got to watch out for that. If you're going to try to pick up a walking stick, especially from California, likely is you will get maced. We don't have those in our collection. Another defense mechanism is to be scorpion-like. Okay, so walking sticks don't have biting and chewing mouth parts. They don't have fangs. They don't have stingers. They don't have any of those things. But they do mimic scorpions to a certain extent, right? Their whole defense is one, to blend in and not be seen. But if they are going to be eaten, then they do have spines all over their body as a defense mechanism. We'll look at these. That one is called an Australian walking sticks from Australia. We have those in our collection. They're super fun and cute. And another thing, we don't have these currently, but we usually do, are called walking leafs. And so walking leafs are a type of walking stick. They're all in the same big group in taxonomy. And they look exactly like walking leaves. Their morphology on their legs looks like a leaf. On their abdomen, you can even see the veins that a leaf would have. They can be variable color. They can be green if they're living on a bright green plant. They could also be brown. And they can be a mix of brown and green and look more like a dying and aging leaf. The resemblance is just really unbelievable. So super cool. I want to show you a quick video, hopefully this will work, of not only do they use cryptics in their morphology and the way that they look and their body structure, but also in their locomotion and how they move. Because you're going to blow your cover if all of a sudden a walking leaf gets up and runs away, right? So even in their motions are very sway-like a swaying or blowing leaf or twig in the wind. Super funny. Let's see if this will play for us. Looks like it's going to work. So when they emerge from the egg, they're little, they're a nymph. And even as a, no, not going to play. Even as a little tiny nymph, immediately as soon as they get out of the egg, they are swaying in the wind. So I encourage you, sorry about that, it didn't work, it's disappointing. I encourage you to look that up on YouTube, and maybe I can come back to it another time. Another part of what they have built in is they all actually do have wings. Though they're not visible, they're tucked in and they only emerge their wings when they are going to glide from one location to a lower location. So they just use gliding and gravity to help them swoop from like branch to branch. And it's usually the males, right, that are looking for females and have the more functional wings. But look at those colors. Aren't those beautiful? Amazing, amazing. Now, the reproduction is very interesting because most walking sticks and walking leaves are actually parthenogenic. That means that a female can fertilize her own egg in the absence of males. And so when things are going good, when the climate is stable and the food is abundant, they only produce females, right? Because females can fertilize their own eggs and produce many more females that the males don't. So they spend all their energy producing females, and males are really rare to find. But if there's a climatic shift or things stop going so well and food becomes more scarce, they will start then producing reproductive males in order to increase the genetic diversity. And things will change at that time. But they all lay eggs, and the eggs are really, really cool. And inside this tiny egg, look at what came out. A pretty large, compared to the egg, walking stick. It was all folded up and tapered in there. And then it finds a way to, it's in the capsule, to pop open the capsule like a bottle top, just pops it open. It doesn't eat its way out. It pops the top off and unfold the antenna, unfold one leg at a time, and pull its way out from this tiny compact egg. Super cool. And we'll look at some eggs that I have here. I think they're really pretty. But now I want to go up to our creature cam. So I'm going to change cameras here, and let's see what else that we can look at. So this is that jungle nymph that we were looking at earlier. And let's just see if we can zoom in a little bit closer on some of these defensive leg thorns that we have going on here. See all those leg thorns? And this is a female. This is her ovipositor here. It's like a syringe for laying eggs one at a time through this tip here. Those are her wings there. These are her wings, membranous wings. You can see the thorns on the top of her head and her eye right there and her antenna. She really has her legs thrown forward and is sitting pretty motionless here. They are more of a nocturnal species, more active at night. And she's pretty big. This is one of the largest species of walking sticks in the world. They'll live in captivity. They can live a couple of years. She's going on middle age right now. And you can also look at some of the ones, I don't know why my camera's upside down. Some of our ones that are more scorpion-like. These are the little Australians. I say little only because this one is not full grown. They're really curious, really sweet. Like I said, they cannot bite or sting. And this one doesn't have the really aggressive leg thorns, so I'm not too worried about getting pinched. This one's just a baby. So I would say this is probably 2 molts old. See the abdomen curled up over its back. Let's put her back inside. And then inside here we have a bunch of other of her siblings. Smaller ones, they look really ant-like when they're young. See them So that's the movement I was trying to show you on the video, that swaying back and forth action. That's typical of a walking stick or a walking leaf locomotion, right? Because they don't want to blow their cover. They just want to be as naturalistic, aka as leaf-like or stick-like as possible. Super cute. We can look at some of the Vietnamese walking sticks that emerged from their egg sacs. And these are just teeny tiny. We have them eating lettuce. See that little guy right there? Just tiny. And we'll look at some adults here in a minute. See the antenna thrown up over its head to look more streamlined, more like a stick. A whole bunch of them. There's another one. All right, so let's come over here and see what we can see over on this foliage piece here. This is another larger Australian walking stick. See, it's got slicers and dicers going here. It's eating one individual leaf here. Holding on upside down. See all the thorns all over its body. Its abdomen tipped up here, exactly like a scorpion's posture. Super cool. This is the Australian walking stick. Then we can cruise on over here and spy one of the ones that's more definitively stick-like. This is the Vietnamese walking stick here. Can you spy it? You see those legs? You see the abdomen? With the front legs thrown forward and the more delicate and shorter antenna. Those are the forelegs right there, thrown forward. So you can see its face closer in there. And we can also creep up on one of its siblings that is less green and more brown, because this one was living on a different foliage that was browner. And here's a male, very large jungle nymph male. You can see some of the coloration of the wings tucked in there. Really, really large wings. All right, let me switch my cameras again. Thank you, everyone. That's all that I have today. We look forward to your comments and hope everyone's doing okay. I know we're in a tough time, but hopefully we got to show you something just a little bit different today. And I forgot to show you the eggs, so I'm going to switch to my creature cam just real quick because they're super cool looking, really ornate. Man, not sure why it's not focusing well. I just did another presentation a minute ago and it worked fine. Well, it's disappointing. There we go. See the decorations? Looks like they're etched with something. Super cool. So these are the eggs for the large jungle nymphs. And then this is another species of eggs here for the Australian walking sticks. I just think they're super cool. I love to see the eggs. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me. As always, you can find us on Live Animals on Instagram. And we've changed our day. We'll be bringing you these presentations on Wednesdays, the second Wednesday of each month. And as always, stay curious and stay safe. Appreciate you. Thank you. Bye-bye.